I'm a bit tired and disappointed. The first architect guy came round and he basically told us that we can't have the extension as we wanted. The first floor the side double story would have to come in, and as the side has to come in from the ground floor, then it's just going to cut it in half. And he literally showed us the space that we had and how wide it was, and we just thought to ourselves, it's not really worth it. Initially I thought we'd be able to go back a little bit, set back from the front of the house, just a tiny bit, but I imagined that we'd be able to go right back to the extended part of the house at the back. But apparently you can't. You can only go as far back as the back of the house. So you've got to set back from the front anyway, and then set back, and then only go up to the back of the house. And for the tiny room that you get there, it makes me wonder whether it's worth doing the first floor extension. He said rather than doing that, you might as well just go up into the loft and get a bigger room, which looked a bit more viable in terms of the space that we want upstairs. But it means that adding another floor, a lot more expense. Also, it kind of brought to head the fact, we already knew this anyway, we've got drains. We've got 3 manhole covers in our garden. 2 are drains which are shared, and they go along the backs of all the houses, and then they come out my house and then go off into the main road. And then we've got 2 surface water manhole covers, one on the side and one in the front. I never ever wanted an extension where the manhole covers were in the house, even though we've got a different lid. Just experience from before just makes me think that, I don't really want them in the house. My neighbour has a problem where sometimes when the drains are blocked, then the smell comes into our house, so I really don't want that. We want to have the drains moved, and that's something we really need to do before we even put in planning application, because it's just going to take such a long time. So it means that Abdul's going to have to get on the phone and get quotes and stuff like that. The whole garden's going to be dug up and just be a total mess. So at the moment, when they looked up and lifted the manhole covers, the drain was blocked. It's just ridiculous how this house was built. Nothing can be done about the stairs. They're just going to have to stay as they are. But the top bit where tall people like my husband bang their head as they're coming up and down the stairs, where Zahid's room is, that he said you can cut a hole in. He said it's only worth doing that if we go ahead and do anything up there. So yeah, his recommendations were that we do a wrap around the house ground floor and just make that the space that we want, and then later if we want to do the loft. Still not totally satisfied, but we'll see. Don't really know what we want to do. Abdul wants a side annex that he could let out later, and I want more space to live in for ourselves. We've also got to think about my mother-in-law who may move in the future, so I'm not really sure what we're going to do, to be honest. I did say to the guy, if it's going to cost a lot, then we might as well just go and put a for sale sign up. And everyone's been telling me to get a house that's already done up anyway, and I just don't want to move again. I've done it too many times. Other than that, I wasn't sure about the guy who would do the plans that came around to see the site today. I just feel that part of me thinks, did he just advise us to do the things we did, that we wouldn't have this, we wouldn't get planning permission for that, simply because he knows what he can pass off for the fee he's charging, and not want to push for what we really want, because it's more time consuming, costly, whatever for him, and the price that he charges doesn't reflect that. Do you know what I mean? There's that little doubt inside of me as well. So I think me and Abdul really need to sit together and decide whether we want to call another architect to give us some advice and see. So yeah, watch this space.